Now that we have the primitive shapes created, we'll close up these layers, but still remain on our current shape layer. What we want to do next is use the pen tool to add a new shape. When you have the pen tool and a shape layer selected, you'll see over here that we have two different options. We can either create a mask or we can create a new shape layer. So make sure you have the correct icon selected before you begin drawing a shape. I'm going to select the contents because I want to draw into the contents here and not into a specific group. I can draw the shape over on the side, then edit its values later. With a shape drawn, you can see down in the timeline that there's a new shape. It's given the name shape because the pen tool can create any kind of shape. In the properties for this shape, we see a path, and of course, this shape is defined by the vertices that we just drew. I don't want fill, so I'll turn off the fill and turn on the stroke value. Under our stroke value, I'll increase its width from 5 to 15. I'll also change the cap from a butt cap to a rounded cap. I'll close everything up and take a look at the transformation for my shape. Because this shape is drawn with a pen tool, After Effects keeps the relationship for anchor point and position for this shape at 0, 0. In order to modify this, I can use the selection tool, then simply double-click to select all of the vertices in my path, then move the shape over to the center of the composition. I'll click Enter to accept it. Then twirl these up. I'll change the name of the shape to Tentacle and use Enter to accept it. Next, I'll add an effector, but only to the tentacle layer. So here, under Add, I'll use Repeater. Again, it gives me the default of 3 copies with an offset value of 100 pixels. But rather than repeating it to the right by 100 pixels, I want to repeat it around its center. So under the transformation values for the repeater, I'll change the position value to 0. And I'll change the rotation value to 45. Here I can see that there's an offset of 45 degrees between each one of the copies. I'll need 8 copies offset by 45 degrees to go around 360 degrees. So I'll change the number of copies from 3 to 8. Next, I need to change the position of all of the points in my shape layer. So I'll double-click on any one of them to bring up my transformation handles, then move this to the outside. I'll close all of these functions up, including the entire group tentacle. Now move this group down below the group for the body. Now the tentacles are drawn, and on top of that the body, then finally on top of that the eyes. I want to do a couple more things to the tentacle. The first thing is create a new stroke. So with the tentacle selected, I'll go up to my effectors and create a new stroke. Here you can see I have 2 strokes, stroke 1 and stroke 2. Stroke 1 being applied below stroke 2. If I open up stroke 2 and change the color, we'll change this color to a red color. We can see that the stroke width is 2 and it appears in the center along the same path. What we want to do is move stroke 2 down below stroke 1, then change the value of stroke 2 from a width of 2 to a greater width so that it appears on the outside of stroke 1. We'll close this, then we can animate our path. By animating the points in the path, we can create an animation for all 8 legs. Animating the points in a path in a shape layer is the same as animating the points on a path for a mask shape. On the last frame, I'll simply copy and paste the first keyframe. With this short animation created, we'll go ahead and close all the properties in our contents.